Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you guys are doing good. I'm going to do a date night look today. Valentine's coming up. I thought I have a free evening, so I thought maybe we might get away and go out to dinner somewhere this evening. Wanted to share with you all. So my name is Angie Billings. I am an artist with Seint Makeup. And everything I'm going to be using today are Seint products. Please say hello when you hop on. If you catch my replay, please call me at #replay. Share my video for me. I would just love for you to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in, tell you guys a little bit about the products I'm using, and just do some makeup, share some time with you all. So I'm going to use our Beauty Blender. I have nothing on my skin. I washed my skin this morning in the shower and I haven't put anything on, no moisturizer or anything. So I do have a little bit of oil. You can see the shine there that's built up in my skin as I've been working all day. But typically I use our cream and our toner at night, so that keeps my face plenty moisturized, and then when I wash it off in the morning, my skin actually feels really good, so I don't have to do anything else during the day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our Beauty Blender and I'm going to spray some of my setting spray on there. And I'm going to use the setting spray as a primer for my skin. With this cream makeup, you really don't want to use a primer that has a silicone base. So I'm just going to use a setting spray as my primer. And what this does is it just prepares a good canvas for my makeup. And it's going to keep everything from settling in my lines and my pores. So I hope you guys are doing great this afternoon. I'm going to go back in as well while that's drying. If you have fine lines under your eyes and you worry about your makeup or your powder settling there, you can take your setting spray and just kind of dab that under your eyes, and that's going to make a barrier there for the makeup, and that's going to keep it from settling there. So I'm just kind of tapping that in. Let me wipe that off. So I'm just kind of tapping that in, and then I'm going to let that dry, waiting for a few of you guys to hop on. If you're not familiar with Seint makeup, it is very well designed. It's for all skin types, for young skin, older, mature skin, oily skin, dry skin. I mean, it's just great for so many things. You just kind of have to quirk it a little bit for each skin type. If you have oily skin, you do need to prime. You need to use a little bit of powder. I actually just use the setting spray to set mine, but just a few little things that you need to do for your skin type. I kind of have medium skin. I'm a little dry in places. I get a little oily after a little while in places. So what I have found works best for me is just moisturizing my skin at night, and our products also, they kind of regenerate, they turn over cell growth. They exfoliate your skin while you're sleeping, so that's not something that you have to do with their products unless you just really are working on your skin. But the thing that makes your makeup look the best is good skincare, you know, so that's always really important. So I'm going to do a whole face of makeup today, so we'll be on a little bit. What I'm going to start with is just my basic foundation shade, which is our main highlight shade. My shade happens to be Amber. So I feel like my setting spray has dried. That's made that protective barrier on my skin. Now I'm going to use a different brush today. All of our brushes are double-ended, so you get a really good, they're a little bit pricey, but it's really good because you're getting a double-ended brush. But this one is designed to give you a little more of a heavier coverage. So all you really have to do, this is my foundation, maybe for you guys that might be new. This is the this is the palette. Everything that you need for your whole face goes in this palette. They're magnetic, they pop in and out when you replace them. So everything that I'm going to be using on my face today is right here. My foundation, my lip and cheek, my contour, and my bronzer. The only thing that's not in this palette is my mascara, and if I choose to use any liner or setting powder. I do have those in another palette. And then on my second layer, I have anything else that I maybe would want. I have a couple other lip and cheek shades. I have a illuminator. This is the cream illuminator. I have perfume. So everything that you could want is in one palette. It's really great just to throw it in your makeup bag, in your purse, one of your brushes. You can do your whole face with one brush too. So what I'm going to do, for those of you who may not have watched my videos before, does not take a lot of product, okay? So I'm just going to tap in. That's all I'm doing. And my shade is Amber, by the way. If you would ever like a color match or like to try our products, just reach out to me. It's really important to get a color match. They have updated our website, and we have palettes. You can choose your skin tone, like light, light to medium, medium, you know, so on. And they have pre-made palettes for you. And you can get just like the one palette that's really great just for your essentials. I happen to have all of my eyeshadows in this one, but you can get your palette and everything in one brush for just under $100 for everything that you would need to do your whole face, and a double-ended brush. And they already have some of the colors pre-selected for you, but it's really important to get a color match because everybody's skin tone is different, and we are trained to see other things. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my foundation, which is my main highlight shade, in areas that I want coverage. So what I'm thinking of is the areas where a man would wear a beard. So that's where we're going to start out with. And all I'm doing is I'm just tapping this product and pressing it into my skin. And like I said, this brush that I'm using today, it's actually giving me a little bit more coverage. So this is a little bit heavier than what I normally do. But I really wanted to find out look and a little bit more coverage because I'm going for an evening look. And this product, it just really goes down in your skin. That's why I'm stippling and just pressing that in. Just pressing that down into my skin. It's like another layer of skin. You really don't even know that you have this makeup on. I'm going to move this over just a little. I'm getting a little bit of glare from the evening sun coming over. So I'm just going to continue to work this in the areas where a man would wear a beard. I'm just pressing it in. So how's everyone doing this evening? Please say hello when you get on. Okay, so now I'm going to go up a little bit just in the areas that I want to cover, not where I'm going to be thinking about contour or highlighting. So I'm going to do a little bit in this area. Just pressing that in again. I'm going to go up on my cheeks just a little and down the sides of my nose a little bit because I have a little bit of funky colors around my nose. Hi Irma, how are you doing? I bet you have a big weekend coming up with Valentine's Day. Which that's good. That's good. Those are the times of year that we look for, right? Okay, so I'm just, like I said, just pressing that in. I've kind of got the coverage pretty much everywhere where I'm not going to put another product. Because with this cream foundation, you don't need to layer. You don't have to layer because every place you put it, you're kind of strategically putting it there. And it provides the coverage that you need. Okay, so I'm just going to press this on in, buff this out, move it around a little bit. So then next I'm going to go in with my highlighter. And I am going to bounce over to another one of my brushes for this, simply because this is our detail brush. This is really designed for your contour, and then this end is made with a little slight angle to pick up your highlight shade and to buff your shades out. So now I'm going to go in, I'm just going to pick up a little bit of linen, and I'm going to highlight a little area here. If you have large pores in this area like I do, you may not want to start in the bridge of your nose. You may want to go up a little and then kind of pull that highlight down there. I'm going to camouflage some of this darkness in the corners of my eyes. I'm not going to work all the way under my eye because I don't want to pull more attention to that. And then I'm going to lift and highlight on the outside corner of my eye. I'm going to work on my Cupid's bow a little bit, down the center of my nose just a little, my Cupid's bow, and a little bit on my chin. So before I start blending that in, I'm going to go ahead and pick up my contour shade, which today I'm using Indigo. I'm going to use the bottom half of my brush, and our contour, the texture of it is just a little bit different. It's a little bit thicker than our cream foundations. So you really have to kind of pick up a little more of that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of that across my forehead, and then I'm going to blend all of that in together. And what I'm doing is I'm just creating shadows to make my face look more defined. So I'm going to do just right on my cheekbone there. Kind of to the bottom of the cheekbone, but right on the cheekbone. And then I'm going to do a little bit on the bottom of my chin, just to create shadows there. Then I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to work down my nose with my finger. And I'm going to try to come up as high on the bridge of my nose as I can. Not the bridge of my nose, but below the bridge of my nose. And then when I blend that out, I will work that up. So the higher up on your nose you come, the longer you're going to make your nose look. I'm going to create a little shadow around the bottom. Looks kind of scary right now, but once you start blending everything out, it really does look nice. So I'm going to go ahead and add my cheek in just while I'm doing this, just to go ahead and get that color on there, and then I'll blend it all out at the same time. So the cheek and lip that I'm going to use today is actually lip and cheek. It's called Saffron. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that above my contour, below my highlight. This is really pigmented. Some of our lip and cheek colors are really kind of shiny and don't have as much color payoff. But this saffron, it's really a nice color. Okay, so now I'm going to take my detail brush and I'm going to start blending some of this in. And I'm kind of going to work that contour down a little and then up into my hairline a little bit and down this way to create shadows to make my face look just a little bit longer. So what the contour does is it kind of takes some of the light away to add more definition, and then the highlights under there creates dimension for you. So now I'm just going to kind of barely blend this down on my nose, the contour. I'm just kind of really just pressing that in. I'm not really trying to move it. I'm just trying to soften that contour line up a little bit. So now I'm going to work in my highlight. Just kind of working that up, creating the brightness there. I'm going to kind of pull that down my nose a little bit. And then I'm going to start blending these highlights in the corner of my nose. I'm going to pull that down and just create a soft shadow, a soft triangle there. But I really don't want to pull it down directly under my eye. I'm going to use just a little bit of that on my lids to camouflage. Use it as an eyeshadow primer. And then I'm going to use this just to lift everything up right there. So what's left I am going to pull down and around under the eye just a little bit, not a lot. It doesn't take a lot. So now I'm going to, again, camouflage here with my brightening highlight. Pull that up to brighten, and then what's left on my brush, I'm going to kind of work down into my cheek and under my eye. Just a little, not a lot. Maybe pull a little bit of that back out on my nose. On my Cupid's bow. Now I'm going to work on blending this contour up a little bit into my cheek. My lip and cheek. I kind of want that shadow there, but I want all of that to kind of mesh and blend together. You want this definite line here. And then I'm just going to start softening and blending that lip and cheek shade in with the contour. So I grab my bigger brush. I don't want to move a lot of the product. I just want to kind of melt it and blend it in together on my skin. I'm going to jump over here and just pull this blind down a little bit, because I feel like that blind is creating too much light and you guys can't see what I'm trying to do here. Yes, that's much better. Much, much better. Okay. So, moving right along. So that pretty much is my basic face color. Contour, lip and shade, and my foundation shade. So next, I'm going to go in. I'm going to go ahead and work on my lip a little bit. And then we'll work on the eyes a little bit. So I'm going to line my lips out today with something that is a little bit darker than what I usually do. But because it is an evening look, I thought we would go a little different. This has a little bit of a burgundy shade to match my sweater. I'm smiling just a little bit. And I'm kind of working at the edge of my lip line, not right on my lip line. And I'm not going all the way down in the corners. Not all the way, because I want to keep it soft. I want the lip to be bold, but I want it to be soft. All right, so that's my lip liner. This is actually a pharmacy lip liner. This is number 226. So I'm going to go right over top of that, actually, with a little bit of my contour shade, because I'm going to make this kind of a deep color. So a lot of our products you can use many ways. Okay, so I'm going to let that sit just a minute. I'm going to work on my brows, and then I'll come back and put saffron over top of that to make that a really nice deep shade. So I'm going to work on my eyes a little, and I'm going to define my brow out a little bit with brow powder today. Sorry about that. I hope so too, Irma. So when we do our brow, we always want to try to create lift. So I always try to start on the top of my brow rather than the bottom, just to create that little bit of lift. I'm going to do my brows a little thicker than I normally do today. For one, because it is an evening look. See if we can get them to match. That's the hard part, right? Let me move my phone over just a little. I feel like I might be getting out of view with you guys. There we go. All right, so we've got the front part kind of filled in there. So now I'm just going to define this part out. I have my arch kind of where I'm happy with it. I always say this, but it hurts my heart because I'm losing my brows. But it's just part of getting older. Alrighty. So moving right along. Now let's do some eyeshadow. So I'm going to start with Cupcake, which is a really neutral shade, just to kind of get a little bit of color on there. It's great to start with a base color that's really close to your natural skin tone or something that's lighter. And I've kind of already primed this area with my brightening highlight, which can also be used as a concealer. And I'm just doing a light coating. So do you guys have plans for Valentine's Day this weekend? We may go out. I really don't know. I like staying home, to be quite honest with you. Since I started working from home, I have turned into a total homebody. Okay. So now I'm going to go in with my Bella bronzer. So I'm just going to warm all of this up a little bit. You can totally use your bronzer on your lids. This is my Bella bronzer. It's kind of a warm shade. And even though I am a cool skin tone, it's okay to use warm shades as far as your brightening, your glow, you know, your bronzer. As far as your main foundation shade, you're going to want to stick to something a little more cool, but it's okay if you want to use warm things on the rest of your face. So what I'm actually going to do is just tap this in. And this is a great thing because if you're intimidated by wearing eyeshadows, this is a great thing because it's going to give you some color on your lids, and you can actually do it with your fingers. And it's going to give you a really nice, beautiful glow. It's going to give you some color. It's very, very simple. So now I've done the bottom part of my lid. So now I'm going to just kind of work this on up a little bit. And because it is a cream, it really does blend very nicely. I do have the powder underneath it. That's not something that you have to do. That was just something that I chose to do. See how pretty that is? It's such a nice color. And I really think we do have several bronzer shades. But I like this one on absolutely everyone because it just has such a summer sun-kissed look. Okay, so I'm going to try this with my left hand. Let's see how we do. And like I said, again, anybody can do this. If you feel like you're not good with eyeshadow, this Bella bronzer, you can just apply it with your fingers. You just kind of press it in. It goes on really nice. It blends really easy. So it's really nice and soft. Okay, so got that on. Come back over here just a little. Now I'm going to pull that up just above my crease just a little bit. Soften that in. And I'm going to actually pull a little bit of that under my lids as well. So that's going to create a little bit of liner under my lashes. But it's very warm. And I may go back in and smudge that out a little bit just to kind of create a smoky look, and I may just leave it. I'm not exactly sure what I'll do with that. We'll see how everything else goes with the look. So I'm kind of using my angle brush just to create a little bit of drama on the top corners of my lids as well. Even though I already have Bella there, I kind of smudged and softened and blended that out. So with this, I'm just kind of putting it on there just a little bit heavier. Okay, so there again, moving right along. I'm going to go in now with something a little shiny. I'm also going to use my fingers because anyone can do this, and this is really going to brighten this up and make my eyes look really shiny. It's going to give them some lift. And where I did use the Bella bronzer and it's a cream, this powder is going to stick to it really nice. And you'll notice I'm not doing the outside corner, I'm just kind of doing the inside a little bit. Look how pretty that is. I love that. This is my first time actually using this shade, so I'm excited about it. And again, I'm just pressing it in. Anybody can do this. It's really easy, y'all. And where I do have the cream Bella bronzer on, it sticks right to it. Really pretty. Okay, coming right along. So I'm going to go back in under my brow with just a little bit of my cupcake shade that I used. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to define that brow out a little bit with it. And then it's going to highlight up under my brow just a little bit. Just got to get my brush good and clean. Let me see if I happen to have another one over here maybe. I think I have all of the ones I'm using out. They all have dark shades on them. Okay, let's try this. Here we go. I think this one's going to work. So what are your all's plans for Valentine's Day? Okay, so let's define this brow out a little bit. which is the shade that I started out with, which is Cupcake. And this is also going to highlight up under my brow. It's going to give me a more youthful look. And it's going to soften underneath that brow out. See the difference in how that brow looks more defined and my eye looks more lifted? If you're not an eyeshadow person, you can use your contour, your highlight. You don't have to use eyeshadow. It's just something that I like to do. Our eyes are the focal point, so it's okay to take a little extra time with your eyes. You'll be glad that you did. I'm sorry if you guys are leaving comments. For some reason, I'm not getting them. I've been having a problem with that lately, and I don't get them until after the video's over, so I apologize. So I'm going to use this same color, and I'm going to go in right in the corner of my eye right there and just create a little bit of lightness. Just almost like a C right there. So I'm going to brighten up and pull just a little bit of that down to brighten the inside of my eye up a little bit. So I'm going to turn my brush over to the bigger end, and I'm just going to softly blend some of that out. So that's a really nice, soft, glowy look. I like that a lot. So I think I may darken the corners up just a little, since this is an evening look. And I didn't post this in my comments. I'm going to add just a teeny bit of purple right in the corner to match my sweater, just to pull my look together. And that's going to make that gold pop a little more. My shimmer shade. And then I'm going to pull some of this down under my eye as well, just to kind of smoke that out a little bit. I'm just going to do little light circles just to soften that up just a little bit. I actually kind of like the harshness of it for a change. Okay, so let's move on to some mascara. I think I'm going to go in with my lip now, and before I do my mascara, and just soften that down a little bit with the saffron that I have on my cheeks. It's going to make it have kind of a wine look to it. I have my indigo contour on my lips now. And then I'm putting my lip and cheek shade over top of it to create a really deep, dark look. It creates almost a little bit of a wine color. This one does have kind of a matte finish to it. Alright, now we'll do a little mascara. Feels nice to have an early afternoon. This rarely happens for me, but I had a perm cancel. So I was able to move my evening people up just a little bit earlier, which is always nice. If you guys hop on, say hey. Please share my video. Comment #replay if you catch me later. The more interaction I get, the more I grow my audience and my followers. So this one actually puts this on really kind of thick. And then the second one adds the length and pulls the color out, the mascara out. I was looking at my lips thinking color. Okay, so now this is going to just get a hold of this mascara and pull it out and lengthen my lashes a little bit, which I really need because I don't have any. But this makes me look like I do, which is really nice. I don't have enough lashes to curl, but if you do, that's really nice. I've always actually been a little intimidated by it, but a lot of my friends curl their lashes. Is that something that you ladies do? Maybe you could give me some pointers and I could try it sometime. So see the difference just with the top, how that kind of makes my eye not look as sleepy and as closed down. Got a little carried away there. It almost feels like summertime outside, the way that sun is coming in here this evening. I'm loving it. Can you guys see that natural glow and that shine that my face is kind of taken on from our cream products? If you want a youthful look and a really moisturized look, this is a great product. Hey Shirley, how are you? Hope you're doing good. I know you like to crochet, Shirley. I started my first baby blanket the other night, and I'm really excited about it. And I found a few other things that I really want to start doing too. So I'm kind of just pushing my lashes back a little bit, trying to give them a little curl. So I'm going to soften my brows down just a little bit. I have a tendency to go a little heavy there, but see how just brushing those made them look just a little bit more natural? So now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to give my skin a nice glow with our Bella bronzer. This is one of my favorite things to do because it warms your skin up, and it's great to have warmth in your skin. It doesn't matter if it's summertime or if it's wintertime. I just really like it. And I'm going above the area, of course, that I've highlighted, and I'm going to bring it down just a little. I'm going to do the bottom tip of my nose, not up on my nose very much because I don't want to interfere with that contour and all that I've created there. I'm just kind of bringing this down just to create, like I said, a little warmth and a little extra glow. And then I'm going to put it right over top of my cheeks, right over top of my blush, because when you think of the way the sun hits you and the glow, then that's where, you know, the higher part of your face, that's where you want to think of your glow coming in at. I'm going to add a little more to the top of my nose, and then I'll blend that out. I'm just kind of pressing that in and moving it around. See how that's adding just another layer of depth in there and color? I just love it. So I'm going to blend this contour on my neck out that I never did blend in. And what that does is that's just creating a shadow. As we age, a lot of times we get lighter here than we are on our face. So it's really nice just to kind of pull that contour and that bronzer down just a little bit. So I'm going to go back up and I'm just lightly going to buff this bronzer out just to really give my forehead a really nice glow. I don't want to do it really heavy because I don't want to wipe my makeup off. And I want to really define my cheeks out a little bit more. So I'm going to go in and I'm actually going to use Candlelit, which is a highlight shade that I sometimes use. I'm going to go in right underneath that contour, and I'm just going to add that. See how that adds that line there? That little bit of highlight there, just to define that out a little bit. How are you, Patricia? Hope you've had a good day. So then I'm just going to softly blend that in. That's going to give me just a little bit more coverage there. I have some hyperpigmentation and bad spots there, so that's going to help blend that out as well. So I'm going to go in just a step farther just because I'm kind of excited about my makeup today and I'm loving the glow. I'm going to add a little more highlight down my face. And I'm going to use Sunlit because I love Seint Sunlit. It kind of has a little bit of a yellow tone to it. This is Sunlit. It could also be used as a foundation shade for somebody that has much lighter skin than I do. But what I'm doing is I'm just lightly, and see how adding that little bit of lightness really brought that contour on the sides of my nose out. And I really just kind of want to brighten my forehead up a little bit more around all of that yummy good warmness there. And I want to brighten up right on my top lip a little bit. on my Cupid's bow. And I actually got down into my lip just a little bit, but that's the great thing about this. You can just go right back over it and blend it all out. I'm going to add a little bit more brightness there just to brighten and lift my eyes up a little. Now I'm going to add a little bit of illuminator just to kind of finish everything off a little bit. There we go. Now I'm seeing some highlights. Some comments. This is my first baby blanket, Shirley. I'm really excited about it. Hey, Miss Patricia. We'll get together. Patricia likes to crochet a lot too, Shirley. She's my lady that's my little encourager. Okay, so since I have a little bit of gold on my eyes, I'm going to use a gold illuminator. And this one is called Georgia. This one right here. Let me find a finger that doesn't already have something all over it. And I'm going to use my finger to do this. Let me show you guys how pretty that is. And I'm just going to do a little bit right on the top of my cheekbone. I don't want to get up under my eyes. And I'm just going to kind of pat that out. Good, Patricia. That has a lot of payoff. Look at that. Wow, wow. I'm going to add a little teeny bit of it right on top of my eyes there, just to catch the light. And I'm also going to add a teeny bit just right there in the center of my eyes, just to give that a little bit of brightness too. Look how shiny and pretty all of that is. So I'm just going to soften and don't want any harsh places. So I'm glad you guys are doing good. I'm going to go back in and line my lips just a little bit again because I kind of messed that up. Which is okay. So now I'm going to add a little bit of shininess to my lips because I feel like where my lips are small, I just feel like I need a little bit of shine in there. I am going to touch this top part back up with a little bit of saffron though. Just right on the top where I had wiped that off. And then I'm going to add some shine over it. So I think, not sure what I want to use. I think I'm going to do a little bit of Ever Red, which is a discontinued shade. No, I'm not either. I'm going to do Love Spell. Love Spell is a shade that's actually discontinued. But it's really pretty and shiny and it's really glossy. And it's going to add just another layer of depth to everything. It's the great thing about these products. You can layer until you get your color where you want it to be. Very good. Okay, so I'm going to add just a little bit more cheek color, and then I think that'll kind of work me out. And kind of smile, because I feel like I've rubbed it off. Oh, have you? So you got them finished. That's great. I know you're excited to have them done. You've been working on that for ages. still feel like I want something. I think I'm going to add a little bit of highlight to my Cupid's bow. I still just want to brighten that up a little bit because I think that's so pretty. There we go. Also going to add a little highlight on the front of my cheeks just because I love to do that. Okay, you guys, so this is kind of my look. And what you need to do if you have oily skin, now would be the time that you could go in there and put a little bit of powder on your skin if you wanted to. I'm kind of liking this glowy look. That's one thing I love about this makeup. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set it with my setting spray, and it'll look just like this when I wash it off later. This will even set your lipstick for you. It's really good. It's refreshing, and it adds even more, just a little bit of a shine to your skin for you. And this is working out perfect. Mark will be home anytime, and maybe he's going to want to go out to eat. Okay, so since I've got a few more minutes and I have a few people on, I think I'm going to go in just a little bit darker around under my eyes and just bring them out a little bit more. Just because, there again, y'all know me, I like to keep doing. When I find something I like, I want to keep doing it. And this may be my last video for this week, so... And then again, it may not. Thanks, Shirley. Thank you, Patricia. Y'all are so sweet. I'm definitely lit up like a Christmas tree, aren't I? I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and watching. I've really been having some bad anxiety lately, and it's really been hard on me to get myself to doing my videos and things, but I'm trying really hard to get my nerve back, you know, and get back in the groove of doing it and all. And you know, it's not easy sitting here doing this, but I just want to show other women that you can push yourself and that you can do things that you think that you can't do. And beauty is only skin deep, but there's things that we can do to make ourselves feel better on the outside and better about ourselves. And you don't have to be an artist to be able to do makeup. It can be like my eyes today. Everything on my eyes I did with my fingers, or I did put the base color on with the brush, but that was very simple, you know. And then everything else I did with my fingers, except after I got, you know, the initial everything done, I did go back in and darken a little. But you can totally do this. I would be glad to work with you one-on-one. I mean, you just have to practice and get in there, and that's how you make it happen. But it's not always easy doing this, and I really get myself worked up, and I want to be an overcomer, and I want to get back to doing all these things again that I enjoy doing. So I appreciate you guys supporting me and being here for me. And those of you that have purchased the makeup, I hope you're doing good with it. There is a learning curve. It does take a little bit of time to figure it out because we're used to making our skin all matte and all cakey and slapping all that powder on there, but it's not necessary. to have a nice finished look. Now, if you wanted a really mattified look, you could do that. You could put your powder on there, you know, and you could absolutely do that. But as I'm getting older, I'm finding for me, I don't want all of that powder and all of that makeup on there to settle in my lines and my pores, because it actually is harsher on us and it ages us. It makes us look tired. It makes us look old. And I've had a little bit of a transition myself, you know, but I do like it. And if you've tried it, just give yourself a little time. You'll get used to it. It was a little bit of transition for me too. But just keep up the good work. Keep doing good things. And again, if you catch me on the replay, please comment #replay. Share with your friends. I'm really trying to grow my page. And I'm trying to get the word out about Seint makeup, because it is, it's been around for a while, but a lot of people in this area don't know about it. And I really think if it can catch on, that people are really going to like it, and they're going to appreciate the way that it was designed and what it's designed to do for our skin. And my skin actually feels better at night when I wash it off because of the ingredients, the products that's in it. It moisturizes my skin and helps build a protective layer on there. So, well, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Hopefully I'll see you guys again in a few days. If you would like a color match, please reach out to me. All you need to do is just stand in front of a window. You don't need the light shining directly on you, but you do need to be in natural lighting, about shoulder width, with your phone up, you know, kind of about 3 feet away from your face. We need to see your neck a little bit. No makeup, no bathroom pictures, no outside pictures, because it's going to wash you out. We need to see your really natural skin tone. So just reach out if you're interested. And hope you guys have a really good evening. God bless you guys. Peace out. And I will see you soon, okay? Happy Valentine's Day.